We are back with another episode. If you're new here, I am Vesh, and this is a place where we talk about everything from healing your traumas, building self love, confidence, self esteem, and as a result of which, building your best life. Let's talk about anxiety. Especially in this day and age, everyone I speak to has some or the other form of anxiety. And one of the most primary reason many of us do not know how to control our anxiety is because we have not even been taught the basics of anxiety. We don't even know how to emotionally regulate ourselves and bring ourselves back into balance. So let's talk about anxiety, why it happens, and how harmful it is for you. Anxiety is nothing but protection in form of bracing yourself from the possibility of something that could happen. It's just that you are so unable to deal with the uncertainty lying ahead in your future that your body goes into defense mechanisms to even prevent things happening to you, which your mind automatically categorizes as something that's going to be bad. Your brain is actually predicting a possible danger that's lying ahead of you, and we don't even know if there actually is danger or not. But your body is still reacting in ways where a wild animal is chasing you. You are always in a state of defending yourself, and you are always in a state of fighting any danger that can possibly come in front of you. And this is nothing but a result of you still being fixated on the past events that has happened to you in your life, and your brain is going into that loop of predicting that these past negative events will definitely happen to you again in the future. The reason you are anxious is because you have in a way trained your body to be on alert mode no matter what is happening in your surrounding. And over a period of time, this becomes a habit. Over a period of time, your mind and your body goes into a state of stress and anxiety where this becomes your default mode. And then it becomes hard for you to get out of it. The anxiety loop actually starts with worrying thoughts that creates anxious feelings in your body, and then the feelings reinforces the validity of the thought. If you have repeated that loop enough time, your body is naturally anticipating that feeling even without the thought being there. Even if there is nothing actually wrong happening to you. There was a thing that I read which actually made me realize so much, and that was a saying which goes like, depression is you living in the past and anxiety is you living in the future. And even when you're depressed and even when you're anxious, there is no point in time where you're actually in the present moment, where you're actually fully grounded in the moment that's in front of you, but either you're in the past or either you're in the future. And in a way, you have trained your body to believe that being in an anxious state is actually better than the uncertainty that's lying ahead of you. And you need to understand that anxiety is just your mind and body's way of protecting yourself from what could even happen in the future. But how do you know what's actually going to happen in the future when you are so scared of being in the unknown, when you're so scared of the uncertainty lying in front of you? And you develop this anxiety as a survival mechanism, and right now it's not leaving you. You are living with it every single day and it's destroying your life. All that looping of the past negative thoughts has made you believe that bad things always happen to you. That thought has gone into your subconscious mind where you are constantly anticipating bad things happening to you, other people doing wrong to you, or circumstances going against you. Your subconscious mind right now believes that is the truth, and you always have to be in alert mode and you always have to be in a protective state. The real question you need to be asking yourself is, what exactly is this anxiety trying to protect you from? Is it trying to protect you from failure? Is it trying to protect you from hurt? Is it trying to protect you from abandonment, sadness, anger? What is it? And whenever you feel anxious, I actually want you to sit with your anxiety, feel that anxiety, and ask yourself the question, what are you scared of? Because there's a fear of something that's lying within you that is making you anxious. And unless you understand where is this anxiety coming from, you are just unconsciously going to keep repeating this behavior. Unless you become conscious of your unconscious, you are just going to keep reproducing more of the same events in your reality, and you're going to keep saying it's fate. Anxiety is not the main problem. Anxiety and stress is just a symptom of the negative thoughts that you have lying in your subconscious mind. Sometimes when nothing is going wrong and when your anxiety is low and your guards are down, because you're constantly in the habit of predicting something going wrong, you naturally expect that worst case scenario will happen to you. And you have this thought that let me protect myself even before I get hurt. But you're not understanding that you are the one who is hurting yourself. Your mind is tricking you and you're the one who is suffering at the end of the day. And there possibly possibly is actually no one in your outer circumstances or in your life who is set out to hurt you, but you are creating scenarios for yourself where you are putting yourself through miserable situations. And in this state, what happens is you are triggering your nervous system to be in fight or flight mode. Your nervous system is constantly fighting the demons that you have in your mind. Considering the functioning of our human body is very well designed to handle short-term stress. Once that stress has passed, your body needs to return back to homeostasis, which is also known as a state of balance. But when you're consciously anxious, when you're consciously stressed out every single day, every single week of the month, you are not letting your body return back to its normal state of growth and repair. When you're anxious, you're actually depleting your body's energy reserves. And there's actually no energy left in your body for the actual growth and repair of your body and functions like digestion, healing your wounds, cell growth and repair. And this as a result weakens your immune system. And this is the exact reason why a lot of people end up getting autoimmune diseases, because your immune system is so weak that you are naturally getting diseases like arthritis, like cancer, inflammation, and even gut problems as well. Which is why in a lot of cases we also see that people who have anxiety, they have a lot of gut issues because your body's energy is actually going into your survival. How do you expect your body to take care of a basic function like digestion? And a lot of you guys even deny the stress that you're going through, but your body is still responding to it, which is why that stress and anxiety manifests in a result of muscle tension, back pain, shoulder pain, tension even in your jaws. People who clench their jaws, people who grind their teeth, these are people who have anxiety in most of the cases. And unless you consciously decide to identify that your anxiety is not a disease, it's not a permanent thing, you're going to be in this loop of being stressed out and anxious for the rest of your life. And one thing I really do not like is when someone says, I have anxiety, like it's an incurable disease. Anxiety is completely curable. Stop giving it so much weight, because the more you keep telling yourself, I have anxiety, I am an anxious person by nature, the more you're actually fixing that thought in your subconscious mind. Whatever your subconscious mind believes would be the truth that's applicable in your reality. I don't care if you believe in manifestation or not, but you are manifesting 24/7. You are manifesting the bad things happening to you, and you're also manifesting the good things happening to you. When you're in that state of anxiety and you're actually in a cycle of predicting the danger or the bad things happening to you, or the worst case scenario happening to you, trust me, you are going to keep recreating more of that in your reality. Your emotions creates your thoughts creates your reality, and unless you accept this, you will be anxious for the rest of your life. You won't be able to do anything about this. You have to break that pattern consciously for you to get out of this loop. You have to be able to rise above the inner chaos that's happening. Anytime I meet someone whose life is like completely chaotic, I know there's a lot of inner chaos happening inside their mind. Your outer world is nothing but a reflection of what's happening in your inner world and inside your subconscious mind. Anytime I see even my clients going through a hard time, I know their inner world is completely fucked up, and we have to start with their mind. The moment you start changing your mindset, the moment you start changing the way you think, is the moment where you start creating change in your life. I had depression for the longest period of time. I had a lot of anxiety as well. But there was a moment where I decided this is not going to continue for the rest of my life, and that's where I made the conscious decision to work on myself and change what's inside my brain so that I can become a happy person. I don't have depression right now, neither do I have anxiety right now. I put in a conscious effort when it comes to changing the way I think, catching myself in the moment. The biggest skill and the hardest thing you possibly ever have to do yourself is catch your thoughts in the moment. As I said, unless you become conscious of your unconscious thoughts, you're going to keep recreating the same things in your reality, and then you're going to say this is fate. And when I work with my clients, I also encourage them to stop thinking of anxiety as a lifelong disease. It's a very temporary thing that's happening to you. The moment you actually decide to slow down your body and reset your nervous system and make that a new habit of yours, your anxiety is going to disappear. In the beginning, I know it's going to be hard because you're fighting all those negative thoughts inside of your brain, but the more you keep doing it, it's going to get easier and easier over a period of time. You're literally torturing yourself and you're stressing yourself out, and when you are in that state of anxiety. Now, panic attacks is just a manifestation of your severe anxious thoughts. When you're anxious, you're actually taking such shallow breath, and there is very limited oxygen supply into your brain and your blood. And your body and brain is literally freaking out in that moment because you are not getting enough oxygen even to breathe, and your body and brain thinks you're dying. That's when the panic attack actually gets intensified. This is also why at the peak of a panic attack, you're actually gasping for air. Breath is such an important thing when it comes to grounding yourself in the moment. I know people do not take this very seriously, where they think, breathing is nothing great. But the moment you actually learn how to regulate your breathing, but you won't believe it, but so much stress and anxiety would actually start leaving you. When you're breathing and when you're conscious of your breathing, you are grounding yourself in the moment. As I said, anxiety is you living in the future. So when you're in the moment, there is no future that's existing. You are just in the here and now. That's how you ground yourself in the moment. The only way you can combat this is being aware that you are going into that state of hyperarousal and actually giving your body what it needs: oxygen, calming yourself down, breathing. And you can do techniques like breath work, you can do meditation. One thing that has really helped me the most when it comes to becoming aware of my conscious thoughts is the practice of meditation. And if you want to get coached by me when it comes to healing your traumas, resetting your nervous system, and calming your mind and body down, you will find all the links in the description box below. Another tool that I also teach my clients is EFT tapping. EFT tapping is also known as emotional freedom technique, where you're tapping meridian points on your body and you're saying affirmations to regulate your nervous system. And I have seen people doing EFT tapping at the peak of their anxiety, and it actually calming them down. It basically puts your body into a state of peace. It actually brings your body out of fight or flight mode. Unless you're able to slow yourself down and bring your nervous system out of fight or flight mode, you will be stuck in this loop of anxiety. And you have to make a conscious choice in your mind saying, this is not something I want to live with for the rest of my life. And that's the day where you would start actually fighting your anxiety. The more you delay your urge to control your anxiety, the more you're going to torture yourself, the more you're going to put yourself through so much pain, and that's going to affect your body at the end of the day. And that's going to result into you manifesting diseases in your body as well. At some point in your life, you have to stop giving outside circumstances so much power over you. In a way, you have to stop reacting to the world that's outside of you. The two hardest skill I had to develop in my life is the skill of non-reaction and is the skill of self-regulation. Even if something is triggering me, how can I ground myself so much in the moment that I am not emotionally reacting to something that's happening in front of me, where I am not letting it get into my conscious brain and then letting it get into my unconscious brain. Whatever emotions you feel goes deep inside your unconscious mind, and your reality starts reflecting more and more of that, because in a way that emotion, that thought is impressed in your unconscious mind at such a deep level that it's hard for you to get it out. The only way for you to change is observing your thoughts and becoming aware of your unconscious thoughts. Else, for your entire life, you will be stuck in a loop of your outer circumstances triggering you, you reacting to it, and that thought going into your unconscious mind, and you keep creating more of that in your reality. Or you can break this loop by changing your inner world first, changing your inner thoughts first, making that change in your unconscious mind. As a result of it, you stop attracting these weird negative situations in your reality as well. And in the beginning, I agree, it's going to be a bit hard for you to fight those demons in your head, because you've been creating and nurturing these demons inside your head for these many years. It's going to take some time, but please do not give up. Once you master this skill of emotional regulation and non-reaction, you will completely reset your nervous system, and that's when you actually start feeling so calm and peace in your life. So please remember that this anxiety and this stress that you're feeling right now is not permanent, and if you just make a conscious choice of getting rid of it, you can do that. You can get better. You can heal yourself from this problem. I hope this episode was helpful for you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.